It's football weather here in Baltimore. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Laura Oakman.
Thank you, Justin. After 3 straight losses, Mike Smith did something coaches are very reluctant to do. He changed the routine. This week, the Falcons' practices had a very different feel with different tempos and different periods. Mike Smith said he wanted to keep guys on their toes, wanted them to start thinking, less going through the motions. Said Croy Bierman, it was great new energy. We really needed it, and it was something that finally, hopefully, got us out of this lull we've been in. But perhaps the greatest change, guys, for the first time this season, Julio Jones and Roddy White both fully practiced this week.
Hey, speaking of changes, let's make sure no one walks past you as you're talking next time. Come on. Justin Tucker will kick off here for the Ravens. Devin Hester will be back deep. The Ravens, they won the toss. They elected to defer. Joe Flacco, the offense, which was so good last week on the road in Tampa. These Ravens 4-2 in the AFC North. A great crowd on hand. David, I know you're fired up with this weather. You can't ask for better football weather.
This is optimal offensive lineman defensive weather. Why? Sweat factor at a minimum.
Justin Tucker, a very good leg, will kick off. It is a bit breezy here. There you go, see? On cue. Justin Tucker, great leg strength. Also, in case you were wondering, quite the ping pong player.
We heard about that during meetings, and Joe Flacco was not happy about that.
No. Joe Flacco spoke to us, and he said right now Justin Tucker is the best ping pong player on the team. But look at the flags blowing here in Baltimore. Hester, a chance to return this one. Will take it 1 yard deep. Devin Hester gets bottled up as he gets to the 10-yard line. Brendan Trollock with a special teams tackle. That'll bring out Matt Ryan. And these numbers on the road, not good for him or the Falcons since the start of 2013. Hoping to break that. This team is 0-3 this year on the road. And I know it sounds cliche, but a quick start, a good start, is incredibly important for this team. Steven Jackson in the backfield here on first down. Ryan's first pass comes near side, incomplete to Roddy White. How about the impact players this side of the ball?
I think the impact players today are going to be Roddy White and Julio Jones for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, we're going to need to see the four-head monster, but they're going to need to stretch the field to make sure that they're not one-dimensional football team. And if you look at the Baltimore Ravens, Haloti Ngata, the big run-stopping defensive tackle in there, has to do a great job of holding it in, making sure everything gets forced to those linebackers. And C.J. Mosley, the rookie.
On second down, it's Jackson who gets tripped up right away by that rookie. C.J. Mosley in the backfield.
We talked right away about C.J. Mosley being the impact player. We're going to see him come off of the left side of this defensive line. He's going to come through. The guard is not going to be able to come outside of that tackle to block him. He's going to make an open field tackle. Talk about a great start for a rookie linebacker. Who was the last rookie linebacker to start for the Ravens and lead their team? Ray Lewis.
3rd and 10. This place is loud already. Ryan gets it out to Julio Jones. Jones will pick up about 6 yards. But a punt coming up here for Atlanta. The Darius Webb forces Jones out of bounds.
Now, this is something that we've discussed. You know, the last 2 games, some of the offensive struggles on the side of the ball for Atlanta has been third down. You know, you look at the game against the New York Giants, 6 of their 13 were 9+ last week. 5 of them were 10+. That is not a situation on the road you can be in.
Matt Bosher on to punt. Jacoby Jones, a dangerous return man, is back deep. Jones Makes the catch. Jacoby Jones cross midfield, now gets taken down in Raven territory at the 47-yard line. Here comes Joe Flacco, the 18th pick in that 2008 draft. He loves playing against the NFC here in Baltimore. He's a guy who doesn't get the recognition, but gets the job done and does it incredibly well. Last week, all he did was go 21 of 29, 306 yards, 5 touchdowns against the Buccaneers. Justin Forsett in the backfield here on first down. The handoff is to Forsett. Forsett makes the cut, goes up the field, but a flag comes flying out. Desmond Trufant with a tackle, a 4-yard run. Let's see what this flag is for.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face. Number 99 defense. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play, automatic. First down.
That's Tyson Jackson with the penalty. How about the impact players this side of the ball?
I think for the Baltimore Ravens, Justin Forsett getting the run game going, getting this offensive line comfortable with 2 rookies starting on the left side of the ball. And Steve Smith, we all know his dynamic playmaking ability. If you look at the Atlanta Falcons, those interior defensive linemen, Tyson Jackson and Paul Soliot, they've got to stop this run.
And play action. The pass to tight end, Daniels. And Daniels gets upended by Jonathan Massaquoi.
I think Owen Daniels today is going to have a big game as well. You know, his intermediate routes to cross, you know, through those crossing routes across the middle of the field with these linebackers, trying to create mismatches. I think with Steve Smith Sr. and Torrey Smith on the outside, I think he's going to get his balls today.
Flacco again with the play action, taking a shot down the field, and that is incomplete, but the flags come out. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. Robert Alford with the coverage.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 23. Automatic. First down.
Robert Alford was picked on a lot last week by Chicago.
He sure was. They want to go opposite of Trufant, their best corner. It's a clear pass interference. He's making physical contact, doesn't get his head around for the football. It's an easy call for the officials.
A 36-yard penalty brings up 1st and goal from the 6 for the Ravens. Forsett in the backfield. Flacco rolling out to his right, looking. And now Flacco just throws this one away. The pressure applied by Troy Bierman. The Baltimore Ravens last week got off to a phenomenal start against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They scored on their first 6 possessions, the first 5 touchdowns.
Not to mention of those 5 touchdowns to 4 different players. So he is spreading the ball amongst this field and making sure he's keeping defenses off balance.
2nd and goal from the 6. Hand off to Forsett. And Forsett gets up to the 5, gets a yard. Paul Warlow with the tackle. 3rd and goal coming up. Justin Forsett, a free agent acquisition. Last week, rushed for 111 yards. His first 100-yard game in almost 5 years.
I think the big stat for him is look at that average rush, 6.4 yards. If you get that on first down, you're already in the 3rd and manageable.
Empty backfield here on 3rd and goal from the 5. Flacco quick into the end zone, touchdown! Owen Daniels. You said before you liked him, especially against these linebackers.
Well, this was a matchup, especially down here in the red zone, that they wanted to take advantage of. If you look outside and you see Steve Smith Sr., and if you see Steve Smith Sr. and Torrey Smith, you're going to receive attention. Everybody's looking the other way. He just sits right in the pocket of the end zone, in the middle of that zone. It's a very nice start for the Baltimore Ravens offense.
3rd touchdown of the year for Daniels. Justin Tucker on for the extra point. A good start for the Ravens. The third touchdown catch of the year for Daniels. 7-0 Baltimore.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
A quick start here for the Ravens. 5 plays, 52 yards. A big pass interference, 36 yards. Don't forget, a short field set up by that 3-and-out forced by the Ravens defense. Devin Hester back deep again with Justin Tucker kicking off. And Hester will not get a chance to return this one. Torrey Smith was the intended receiver. Pass interference led to the touchdown at 7-0 Ravens.
This game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
7-0 Ravens on top. Mike Smith and defensive coordinator Mike Nolan talking on the sidelines, trying to figure out what can they do. Here on first down, the handoff is to Steven Jackson. And Jackson picks up 4 on first down. And that, David Deal, is really, really important for this offense for Atlanta.
It's very important to get the run game going. They cannot become a one-dimensional offense. That is something that this Ravens defense thrives off. Stuff the run, let these defensive ends pin their ears back and attack the quarterback. So they've got to get those early down and distances, gain yards to make sure they're out of those third and longs.
And 3 yards, 4 yards on a run is good.
It's a positive.
2nd and 6. It's Jackson again. And Jackson lowers that shoulder. He picks up 3. Darrell Smith with tackle. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, the Packers off to a quick start trying to win their 4th in a row, taking on Carolina. Jordy Nelson from Aaron Rodgers, 59 yards to score. They're up quickly 7-0. Justin, David, and Laura.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Well, back here, we're facing a 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. After 2 straight runs, Jacquizz Rodgers is now in at tailback. Ryan to throw towards the sideline, and that is incomplete. Intended for Roddy White. Another punt coming up, 3 and out.
It's a nice stunt right here. You're going to see 2 blitzers from the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to pull Smith out. You're going to see the big hit. Will Hill and C.J. Mosley were able to apply that pressure. And those are the hits that you can't have your quarterback, Matt Ryan, taking here early on the road.
2nd 3 and out force by the Ravens defense. Bosher on the punt. Jacoby Jones backpedals a couple steps. That ball carrying. A flag on the play as Jones takes it at the 14, gets up to the 15. Let's see what this flag is for. Desmond Southward with the tackle on special teams.
During the kick, holding number 32 of the receiving team. That penalty will be measured half the distance to the goal. Timeout.
So a long field coming up here for the Ravens, leading 7-0 early in this first quarter.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
The Babe Ruth Birthplace Museum, located just 3 blocks west of Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And speaking of baseball, after an incredible first couple rounds of the postseason, the World Series begins on Tuesday. The Giants against the Royals. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. On first down, the handoff up the middle. Good run by Justin Forsett. And Forsett picks up 8 to set up 2nd down and 2.
This is what Justin Forsett is so good at. He is a one-cut back. He's patient. The minute that hole opens up, he's hitting it downhill. And that is what they want right now out of this offense and this offensive line. Let's move the line of scrimmage. Let's take control of this. And that's going to open our play action and our shots downfield.
They're going to give him 9 yards on the play, so 2nd down and 1. And off again to Forsett. This time he gets bundled up for a loss of 1. Jonathan Babineau with the tackle.
Nice job inside right there by the defensive line of the Atlanta Falcons. Bouncing those offensive linemen back, forcing it to those fast flow linebackers. Ball gets cut right back in. It's a nice play.
This is a big play right now for this Falcons defense. Can you get a stop on 3rd down? Force a punt. Flacco back to pass. Flacco in some trouble. Gets rid of it. And it's incomplete. Owen Daniels, the intended receiver.
Receiver number 81 in the area. 4th down.
Nice coverage there by the Atlanta Falcons. Look, you're going to see them fight through that natural pick. They're communicating. Flacco doesn't have anywhere to go with the football. Smart move by avoiding the sack and being able to get rid of it.
How about the strength of Flacco? He's still able to get rid of that ball, avoid the sack. Sam Cook on to punt. Devin Hester back at his own 38-yard line.
That's something that Joe Flacco has done very well. In their 4 wins, he hasn't taken a sack. And he talked about working this entire offseason, getting that ball out and working on his quick release.
Let's see where they mark this one out. Still walking it off. It's going to be out at the 44-yard line. Best starting field position of the game thus far for the Falcons at the 45. Devontae Freeman in at tailback. Part of the 4-headed monster in the running back position for Atlanta. Ryan on 1st down, swings it out to Freeman, has some room. Freeman makes a move and gets tackled from behind by Haloti Ngata.
Matt Ryan does a nice job of sitting in there, making sure that he gets that clear opening on this little route here by Devontae Freeman. But once again, look at that hit that Matt Ryan took there. You know, right away now here in this first quarter, we've seen him take 2 vicious hits. They've got to make sure that they get rid of that ball quicker.
2nd down and 1. Anton Smith, and they dump it off to him. Smith has the 1st down and gets tackled by Darryl Smith. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, the Green Bay Packers have another touchdown. Eddie Lacy taking it outside for a 5-yard score. They lead Carolina 14-0. Justin and David is not Joe Flacco-like, but 2 possessions, 2 scores, not bad.
Not bad at all for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers against a defense in Carolina, which many people thought would be one of the tops in all of football. Anton Smith stays in there at tailback. Hand off to Smith. Smith breaks free. Gets wrapped up by Darryl Smith again. A 9-yard run by Anton Smith.
Going to get a nice job of here of working again that zone scheme, getting that double team at the nose at that point of attack, flushing everything. Look at that. If you give him that open hole, he's going to be able to hit it. Just all you have to do is give him one seam, and hopefully he can break those arm tackles just like that and keep the momentum on their side of the ball.
2nd down and 1. Anton Smith again trying to bounce it outside, dives forward, and with that dive, he should have the 1st down.
Can you stay back? Just move.
First and 10 coming up for the Falcons. A player down for Atlanta. Back after this. Peter Kahn's being checked out on the sideline. He goes out. James Stone comes in as the center. Empty backfield here on 1st down. Ryan gets rid of it quickly to Julio Jones. Jones breaks 1 tackle, dives forward across the 25 up to the 24. This is the injury to the starting center, Peter Kahn.
You're going to see him work in that zone, number 66 right there, and you're going to come see C.J. Mosley fly in to try running through to get into that running back. It's hard to see there somewhere, but he came up holding his left leg. That's what they were checking out. But that's a tough loss for this Atlanta Falcons offense, who have already had to make plenty of adjustments on this offensive line.
On second down, Jaquiz Rogers. And Rogers moves the chains again. These Falcons are running the ball effectively here on this possession. And you think about this, they talk about their four-headed monster. They've gone 32 consecutive games without a 100-yard rusher. That's unbelievable.
And that's something that we talked about, is how important it is for them to consistently run the football and stay in stride, because they cannot become one-dimensional.
It's Rogers again. Rogers, flag comes flying out. He gets up to the 15. Darrell Smith with his 5th tackle of the game already.
Holding, number 68 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Gabe Karimi, the right tackle, gets called for the hold. We talk about the four-headed monster: Anton Smith, Devontae Freeman, Jaquiz Rogers, and Steven Jackson. You know, everyone knows with Steven Jackson, he's the power guy. He's the guy you've got to watch out for, lower the shoulder. But the other 3 guys, they're pretty shifted.
You know, the one thing with Steven Jackson, as an Atlanta Falcon, he hasn't had over 54 yards rushing. You brought him in to replace Michael Turner. Let's use him, because that's how your offense is going to move today.
After the penalty, 1st and 20. Ryan, low throw, incomplete to Roddy White. Peter Kahn's now being carted back to the locker room. Not a good sign. And David, you lose your starting center. You're starting to run the ball effectively. What does this do now to the Falcons?
I think running the football is the way to ease the transition of him getting into this football game. But think about it. You're coming in as a center on the road against the Baltimore Ravens defense. And this crowd noise, you better be able to communicate and know this offense.
Empty backfield. Speaking of the crowd noise, it's getting loud on 2nd and 20. Ryan wasn't ready for the snap. They get it out to Julio Jones, who breaks a couple of tackles. And Julio Jones makes something out of nothing, gets shoved out by Darrell Smith.
The Atlanta Falcons are doing a nice job here early on, running 4 screens here, trying to open up things inside of the pocket for these guys. You see Matt Ryan here communicating, trying to get the play out. Runs another screen. Julio Jones being able to get the yards after carry and break the tackle. But once again, here we go in that 3rd and long situation.
3rd down and 10. Steven Jackson in. Ryan, pressure. Ryan fumbles. Recovered by Baltimore. Pernell McPhee knocked the ball loose. And the Ravens defense steps up.
If you're coming back to this football game, watch this blitz that Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator, sets up here. You're going to see C.J. Mosley. You're going to see McPhee come around. But watch his left hand. You're going to see him rip around. Look at the technique. Boom, is still coming around, attacking, going after the football, and is able to create that turnover.
Elvis Dumerville with the fumble recovery. Baltimore takes over at their own 25. Bernard Pierce in. Play action. Throw it out to Steve Smith. Then Smith breaks a tackle. Steve Smith able to get some positive yards, and a couple of flags are thrown.
Holding, number 74 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
James Hurst, a rookie left tackle, gets called for that penalty. But the Falcons did not have a possession in the red zone last week. They get one here and a turnover. Their 13th turnover this season.
You just mentioned it. 13 turnovers, especially when you're getting yourself down here in the red zone to possibly tie this game in the first quarter. You've got to come up with points, let alone not giving up the football.
1st and 20 now for Baltimore. And Flacco's going to call a timeout with the play clock expiring. The Baltimore Ravens and Joe Flacco last week got off to a magical start. Just how magical was it? Well, they scored their first touchdown a minute 49 into the game. Then at 5:38, at 10 minutes. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of like too good to be true, right? 5 touchdowns in the first 16 minutes and 3 seconds of the game. Joe Flacco even said, the first time they went down the field, he goes, it's usually not this easy. You knew something was going to be special that day.
Not to mention, if you looked at those first 3 touchdowns, he never got touched. He was sitting upright, and he wasn't dirty at all. But he said, you know, once you throw that first one as a player, you just kind of have that feel. He just said after that first one, he knew it was going to be a big day.
Torrey Smith said he didn't get touched the whole game. Flacco over the middle, gets it to his running back, Forsett, who makes the catch up to the 20, but a flag on the play yet again.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 59 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Joplo Bartu gets called for that penalty, and that's a big penalty because it would have been essentially 2nd down and 15. Instead, now you got 1st and 10.
You know, this is something that offensive coordinators are trying to take advantage of. Those one-on-one crossing routes versus linebackers. We all know the emphasis that has been put on pass interference, you know, interfering, rerouting those receivers. So we're going to see a lot of that today.
And Forsett breaks through. Forsett all the way across the 40. Justin Forsett with a 21-yard run.
You're going to look at 2 rookie offensive linemen here on the left side of the ball. Urschel and Hurst do a great job of their one-on-one matchups there, and that zone stretch there opens up that hole for Forsett. And once again, one cut and hit it. And that's the way that this offense has rolled. And look at that, 9 rushes for 20-plus yards, most in the NFL.
Bernard Pierce in as Forsett gets a breather. Aiken in motion. Pierce, a good run on first down. Up to the 46, gets 5. Paul Warlow with his 2nd tackle of the quarter. Justin Forsett, you talk about what he's done as far as his average yards per carry. He has really been a bright spot in this offense for the Ravens this season. Gary Kubiak, in his first year as the offensive coordinator for Baltimore, spent the past 8 years as the head coach of the Houston Texans. Flacco back to pass. Throws to Steve Smith, who hangs on to it for the first down.
Steve Smith is a guy that we want to get involved in this game. You're going to see him at the bottom of the screen here. The physical matchup, the intensity of him, runs it off, makes sure he gets Trufant back on his heels, comes back to the football. Nice catch, nice first down.
1st and 10 for Baltimore at the 43 of Atlanta. Flacco pressure, gets rid of it. The catch is made by one of his tight ends, the rookie tight end, Crockett Gilmore. A 13-yard completion, another first down.
Joe Flacco does a real nice job here with his eyes, because if you see him, he looks down, looks it off, goes through his progressions. Torrey Smith isn't open. They almost get him. He's still able to scan back and hit Crockett on that play.
Jonathan Massaquoi applying the pressure, gets a hit on Joe Flacco. 1st and 10 from the 30 of Atlanta. Flacco throwing towards the end zone. Nobody's there. It looked like Torrey Smith cut off the route. There is a flag on the play, holding against Baltimore.
10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Let's check in with Laura down on the sideline.
David was just saying about how he thinks it's a good idea to get Steve Smith in early. Joe Flacco agrees with him. He was saying one of the keys to playing with Steve is managing emotion. He wants to get him involved early to keep his head into it. Says if he hasn't had a big role early, I've got to talk to him constantly saying, you're Steve Smith, you're the man, you're going to be a huge part. Keep your head into it, I'm coming to you.
I did love that when we were talking with Flacco. He said, he's like, dude, you're Steve Smith. Like, you're Steve Smith. The toss to Forsett. And Forsett gets stood up. Desmond Trufant, a 2-yard run by Justin Forsett. 2nd down and 18 coming up. Desmond Trufant, the guy this Falcons team says, he's that standout guy in that secondary, and he's been marked up against Steve Smith for much of this first quarter.
Going back to the opening, we talked about it. Trufant's their best player on that defensive back, so they're gonna do different things to get that one-on-one matchup.
That is the end of the first quarter. The Ravens lead the Falcons 7-0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after this. Elvis Dumervil had the fumble recovery in the first quarter as we get set to start the second quarter. Really pretty even in that first because of that turnover. Flacco on 2nd and 18 going down the sideline, and that ball, it looks like it's picked off. Robert Alford against Torrey Smith, and Alford picks off Flacco.
Very nice defensive play by Alford there. Takes inside leverage. He knows he's one-on-one, so he uses his sideline to his advantage against the bigger receiver. Is clearly running the route right there. He looks just like a wide receiver going out there for a touchdown, but what a great start for him. They've been attacking him earlier in games, so this is a confidence booster for him to be able to come up with this big pick and interception for him, get the offensive the ball back. Very, very nice job.
Big turnover, big interception by Alford. Atlanta gets the ball back at the 20, so now turnovers are even at 1 apiece. For Flacco, just his 4th interception of the season. Steven Jackson in at running back here for Atlanta. And a flag here. Good job with the hard count by Matt Ryan.
Encroachment. Number 92 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Maloney Nana gets called for that. Let's check in again with Laura.
We've been talking so much about Matt Ryan's protection. This does not help. Peter Kahn's in the locker room with a knee injury. His return is questionable. The Falcons down to their 3rd starting center after Joe Hawley left with the Vikings game. Peter and Matt just starting to get their rhythm down as Matt works through yet another center.
Tough break for the Falcons. How do they respond with James Stone in at center? On 1st and 5, it's Jackson. Steven Jackson able to pick up 3. Brandon Williams with a tackle.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Running the football, doing it consistently. And this time they didn't even run the zone. That time they ran power. They pulled the backside guard, John Asamoah, to lead that open for him. And that's what they need to do here, Atlanta. Just stick with the game plan. Stick with running the football.
Averaging 4 yards per carry here early in this game. 2nd and 2. Ryan throws to Roddy White, complete for the first down. It's the best Halloween treat of the year. Sunday Fun Day Spooktacular. All new episodes of your favorite comedies, including The Simpsons, Treehouse of Horror. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central on Fox. I'm pretty sure C.J. Mosley might be watching later on tonight.
Yeah, I think that he will, considering Family Guy is his favorite show.
Anton Smith now in at running back. And the flag once again. It looked like Jake Matthews.
Ball start. Number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
I think that was just because Jake wanted to make sure the yards on offense and the penalty yards stayed even.
That one right there, he saw Terrell Suggs and stand up, moving up, trying to time up that snap count. He's moved a little early, but on the road, those are the miscues that you can't have, because you just went from a 1st and 10 to now 1st and 15.
Hand off to Jackson. And Jackson picks up 2. Steven Jackson in his career with St. Louis was entering Hall of Fame status.
I mean, you look at the numbers, and like we talked about earlier, he was brought in to replace Michael Turner. I mean, that's the main thing, and that's when they had their most success was running the football with Michael Turner as an offense, just because it opens up your entire playbook and your scheme.
2nd and 13. Ryan dumps it off to Freeman, who's behind him. Had to go back to make the catch and making the tackle. Dominique Franks for a loss of 4. So 3rd and very long now coming up.
This is one as a defense, backed up. Be alert for screen and draws, just to make sure you can't be in this 3rd and 17 situation. And that's exactly what the Falcons coach has talked about, and that has been their Achilles heel the last 2 weeks.
Shaquiz Rogers in at tailback on 3rd and 17. Ryan steps up, comes to Devin Hester. Hester nowhere to go. Good defense by Ladarius Webb. He just basically looked at him and said, what are you going to do? You're surrounded by black jerseys.
That's what they try to do, is they want to get Devin Hester in the open field to let him use his advantage, his athletic ability to use it in space. But if you saw that, he did a great job of sitting inside, used the sideline to his advantage, let the rest of the swarming Ravens defense come over and say, hey, Hester, you're going to dance around, but you're not going to go anywhere.
Matt Bosher on to punt again. Jacoby Jones back deep. A swirling wind here in Baltimore. Bosher just gets it off. Jones takes it to 26 down the sideline. Jones a good return up across the 40 to 42, a 16-yard return. 7-0 Ravens lead the Falcons here in the 2nd quarter. Michael Jackson.
Today's game is sponsored by KFC, the world's best chicken. How do you KFC? By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Miller Lite. Back in its original look, it's Miller time.
The Baltimore Marathon was yesterday. A lot of the runners were staying at our hotel. They all looked fairly well rested. Justin Forsett in at tailback here on 1st down for the Ravens, leading 7-0. And off to Forsett. Good cut. Forsett up across midfield. A 9-yard run by Forsett. 2nd up, 2nd down and 1. Well, back in 2008, Matt Ryan was the first quarterback taken. Joe Flacco the second. The only 2 quarterbacks taken in that 1st round. What have they done since? Advantage Joe Flacco. Won a Super Bowl, named the Super Bowl MVP. Now, with all due respect, Flacco has had a defense his entire career to work with. On 2nd and 1. Again, up the middle, it's Forsett, and Forsett has the 1st down up to the 45 of Atlanta. I think people have seen the numbers by Matt Ryan, a 2-time Pro Bowler, and he's got the flashier numbers, but it's been Flacco who's all he does is win. All he does is win. His 66 regular season wins tied Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. And off again to Forsett, and Forsett gets back the line of scrimmage. Time for a game break. Let's go back to LA and check in with Joel Klatt.
I'll take you to St. Louis. Benny Cunningham with a nice little TD grab on the shovel pass from Austin Davidson for the 2nd straight week. St. Louis with a lead over an NFC West opponent. They just scored again to make it 20-3, pending the extra point. Justin.
Wow, good start there. 7-0 here. Justin Kutcher alongside David Dio, Laura Oakman, and Mike Pereira. 2nd down and 10. Play action. Flacco pumps. Flacco tries to dump it off to his running back Pierce. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Nice defensive stop there by the Atlanta Falcons. Now they've got the Baltimore Ravens here in a 3rd and long. Let's see what Mike Nolan does here, because he is an aggressive coordinator. This is a down and distance that he likes to attack and bring blitzes. We'll see. Are they going to play coverage, or are they going to be aggressive?
And remember, last week they got Chicago into a lot of 3rd and longs, but they couldn't make the stops. Now you have to make a stop. Empty backfield here on 3rd and 10. Pressure coming. Flacco gets sacked. Taken down by Paul Warlow. A loss of 10 on the sack.
We just talked about Mike Nolan and his aggressiveness here. Look, you're going to see Paul Warlow here, right here, unblocked, completely unblocked, unmatched for, gets a clear sack and a very great stop here right now for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see if they can take this and build some momentum off of it.
First sack of the year for Warlow. Sam Cook on to punt. Devin Hester back at his own 14-yard line. Hester says clear out of the way. This will be downed around the 15. A 40-yard punt. The defense steps up. Warlow with the sack. Atlanta with the ball when we come back. 7-0. This Falcons defense is stepping up. Mike Smith and Mike Nolan again talking things over. Nolan brought the pressure on 3rd and long. They got the sack. And now Steven Jackson in the backfield here on 1st down. The handoff to Jackson. And Jackson will get a couple yards on 1st down. Darian Stewart comes up to make the tackle.
Yeah, if you look at their first 4 possessions, they've got 3 punts and a forced fumble on that sack and a fumble loss. So if they want to stay in this football game, this drive right here has got to regain that momentum. But more importantly, they've got to come up with points.
Yep. Move the chains. 2nd down and 8. Ryan gets rid of it quickly, and the pass is complete to Roddy White, who hangs on for a 6-yard completion. Ladarius Webb with the tackle. 3rd and 2 coming up. This is what this Falcons team was looking for. 3rd and short. Roddy White, good job looking that ball into his hands as now Anton Smith comes in at running back. If you're Atlanta, you have to convert right now. Anton Smith, a dangerous weapon out of the backfield. Ryan gets pressure and he goes down. Sacked by Pernell McPhee, his 2nd sack of the game.
We're going to see McPhee right in here, one-on-one against Blaylock. You're going to see him pull off. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to see him come off of the edge. Rip inside on Matthews because they've got the forced pressure off of the outside. You only can block 1. His 2nd sack of the game.
0 for 5 now on 3rd downs are the Falcons. And now Matt Bosher forced to punt from his goal line. Jacoby Jones has room. Jones gets taken down. A good special teams tackle by Eric Weems. The pressure coming from both defenses. It's 7-0 Baltimore here in the 2nd quarter.
Game is sponsored by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
7-0 Ravens leading the Falcons here in Baltimore. Justin Kutcher alongside David Deal. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am standing on a box. But let's talk about the defenses because both teams bringing pressure on 3rd down and both teams coming through.
Yeah, they both have. And you got to give the Atlanta Falcons defense a lot of credit. Alford with the interception. And, you know, 7 points in the 1st quarter compared to what they had last week. I think that's a good start for them.
Joe Flacco, play action, taking a shot down the field for Smith, incomplete. There is a flag in the backfield, though.
Holding. Number 74 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That's the 3rd penalty against James Hurst in this game already.
That's a rookie free agent left tackle there with his 3rd penalty of the game. You're going to see Massaquoi pulling and ripping off of the edge right there. The hold and the takedown. Yeah, that's pretty nice in wrestling. But you can't pull that when you get that hand to that hip, pull him down. Anytime the official sees that, he's going to call that hold.
1st and 20 now for Baltimore.
First charge timeout, Atlanta.
The Falcons take a timeout with 1st and 20 coming up. 7-0 Ravens lead the Falcons here in the second quarter. A spectacular day here in Baltimore. 7-0 Ravens lead. They scored on their first drive of the game. Empty backfield here as Forsett goes in motion. Flacco over the middle, and that is complete to his tight end, Owen Daniels. A big 19-yard completion. On 1st and 20 to get 19 yards, that's huge.
Here you're going to see Owen Daniels. We talked about him being an impact player. You know, you're going to see him fight through that linebacker, gets behind him, but is in front of the safeties, is able to get clear into that pocket. It's a nice throw by Joe Flacco, and continuing to move the chains.
Campanaro in motion. Forsett tries to bounce it outside, and he gets the first down. Jamal Ishmael with the tackle. 1st and 10 coming up here for Baltimore. Flacco pressured, throws. Is going to be grounding. Was there anybody there?
There's no intentional grounding. Receiver number 89 in the area. 3rd down.
That was fairly generous.
Fairly generous. But look, you're going to see Hurst here. He's a little confused. He's got Massaquoi on him, but he's going to pass through him to go outside. That communication between those two rookies on that left side of the ball, they've got to clear that out because they can't let those clear pass and clear running lanes for these blitzers to get through.
The Falcons defense has been much maligned with the exception of that win against Tampa Bay. Good pass and catch over the middle again by Owen Daniels.
See, that's the tough thing is the consistency. You see a big play the play before, and then look at the Baltimore Ravens are able to respond quickly and move it right back in their momentum. And that's kind of been the issue right now for the Atlanta Falcons these last games. Okay, you get in a spot, you get in a position, you make a big play, rise up to the challenge, bring it to the next one.
It's the 4th time in 5 possessions for Baltimore. They've been in Atlanta territory. Pierce up the middle. Gets 3 yards. The Falcons defense, they have applied some pressure to Joe Flacco.
They've been getting hits on him. They've been able to get that sack right there by Warlow. This is what they need to do. They cannot let Joe Flacco get comfortable, let him set his feet and deliver the ball the way he wants to. They've got to make him look around, see if there are any rushers, and they've got to make him force the ball out of his hands.
1 interception in the game for Flacco. Throws towards the sideline again to his tight end, Owen Daniels, who is having a big game.
We talked earlier in the game, Owen Daniels, when you have Smith Sr., when you've got Torrey Smith, when you've got all of these other threats that make you take those linebackers out and play that zone, it's going to leave things open in the middle of the field, and they're clearly taking advantage of it with Owen Daniels.
You bring up those receivers in Steve Smith and Torrey Smith, and you think, all right, who's going to have the big game? You wouldn't have thought it was going to be the tight end, Owen Daniels, unless you're David Deal. Forsett brings it up to the 21-yard line. Croy Bierman with the tackle. The tight ends, popular targets so far in this game for Flacco.
Getting those guys involved early, whether it was him or Crockett Gilmore earlier in the game. I think the balance of them being able to spread the ball is really going to keep this Atlanta defense off balance.
Second and 7. Play action. Flacco going to his left. Throws back. Torrey Smith dives. And Smith is down. Down right around the one, inside the one. A 20-yard completion to Torrey Smith.
You see Torrey Smith here. He's just going to clearly run right through the middle of this defense. You see Alford trying to stay up with him. He can't come across, trying to work through it. Trufant makes the tackle on the opposite side, but that right there, that speed by Torrey Smith to be able to break that one-on-one that Alford was trying to trail with them, that's what they need to do to open up this offense.
And now a timeout is taken here by Baltimore. John Harbaugh talking with the officials. 2:43 to go here in this first half. You can see the knee is down.
Pretty clear call by the officials.
Yeah. And a good job by Trufant as well. You can see him trying to grab that arm so that he can't extend the ball towards the goal line. First and goal from inside the one. Bernard Pierce in at tailback. Daniels in motion. Pierce takes the handoff, dodges the end zone, touchdown. Second rushing touchdown of the year for Bernard Pierce.
And you know, we talked earlier about this young offensive line. Look at Urschel and Hurst on that left side of the offensive line. They get their defensive tackles, feet in the end zone, which you always want to work on the goal line so that running back can press through. That's a lot of confidence that they're going to build off of this one, to be able to say behind your back, two rookies, we're going to run it behind you and score a touchdown. That goes to show the confidence that they have in their guys up front.
The extra point is good for Justin Tucker. We talked about the importance of this game for the Atlanta Falcons. Why? Because they have struggled on the road. 1 in 10 since the start of last year. Well, this is what they have the next 4 games. They go to London after this game. They come back, have a bye week. They go to Tampa Bay and then up to Charlotte. 4 games away from Atlanta. A lot of miles. And the pressure's on because you're looking right now at a 2-4 season. 1 in 10 on the road since the start of 2013. You can sense that these guys are starting to feel that pressure.
Yeah, and, you know, early on in the year, you say, well, you know, we have a little bit of sense of urgency. This is a must-win, and you need to start doing it now because this stretch right here, where you're already having struggles on the road, you've got to build confidence off of this game. And the only way you can do that is playing successful football and winning.
14-0 Baltimore leads Atlanta. Let's check in with Laura.
About that pressing, that's something Mike Smith has been stressing all week to the guys, saying no pressing, don't try to make the play, don't try to make the big play, just make the play in front of you. He's tried to stay positive this week for the entire team. He wants them to play with confidence. He said he thought they lost it in the second half last week. That's what they're going to be working on right now, trying to keep it up right now as they go down another score.
Justin Tucker kicking off to Devin Hester. Hester's going to return this from about 4 yards deep in the end zone. And Hester gets tripped up just beyond the 15-yard, short of the 15-yard line, excuse me. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com.
Boys and Girls Club meant a lot to me as a kid in Chicago. Played recreational basketball there, and that's where I met a lot of my great friends.
I'm guessing I would not want to play you in basketball.
The round mound to rebound.
Ryan, Anton Smith in, and he gets taken down. C.J. Mosley, a tackle for a loss of 5. The offense That number is not what you want to see. 2.8 yards per play so far today. They had one good drive, and then it ended in a fumble. And this is going to take us the 2-minute warning.
And that fumble was their first possession since 2 weeks ago in the red zone.
Second down and 15 coming up back to the break. The Ravens lead the Falcons 14-0. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Jaquiz Rodgers in on 2nd and 15. Atlanta backed up deep in their own territory. Ryan has to get rid of it to Rodgers, and Rodgers tackled right away by Darryl Smith. His 7th tackle of this first half.
Nice stop. They tried checking it down after Rodgers looks, make sure there's no blitz. But look at, here we are back in another 3rd and long situation here. This is the one situation that the offense of the Falcons clearly stated early. We cannot be in 3rd and 10 plus. And what have they done with the 3rd and 10 plus earlier? They've punted every time they've had it.
Now it's 3rd and 12. Pressure coming. Ryan gets rid of it, and it's incomplete to Levine Toilolo. Elvis Dumerville.
I see Terrell Suggs against the first-rounder Jake Matthews. Pulls those and slaps those hand down. He's able to get that pressure. I know right there he's reaching around, trying to get that sack right there. But that pressure alone had Matt Ryan had to step up and had to check it down. It's a successful rush right there for Suggs, setting it up with that hand knockdown.
Bosher gets the punt away. Jacoby Jones at the 40, fumbles it. Still loose. It looks like Atlanta may have recovered. Still waiting for the signal. It is Atlanta ball. Maybe that's what they needed. With under a minute to play here in this second quarter.
Jacoby Jones getting underneath it. Just slips right through his hands. Ball's out there. Massaquoi tries picking it up and running with it. Fumbles it back. Atlanta Falcons were able to recover it in the scrum down there. And I'll tell you what, Justin, you do not want to be the guy at the bottom of that football pile.
I have always wanted to know, what is that like? What's it like going for that fumble in the scrum?
Let's just say everybody is going for the football. You're getting poked, punched, pushed, grabbed, twisted. They're doing whatever they can to try getting your hands off of that football.
Eric Weems is the one who recovered the fumble. Desmond Southward was the man there applying the pressure, with Jacoby Jones waiting to bring it down. So Atlanta has it in Baltimore territory at the 37. They've got 2 timeouts remaining, under a minute to go. Ryan gets sacked. Elvis Dumerville.
Dumerville has been doing a nice job early on. He set this actually up. He's been bull rushing to try to get Gabe Karimi to sit down. So this time he's going to make it look like he's going to turn it in. Once again, nice job knocking down those hands, ripping through that edge, and getting a crucial sack on Matt Ryan here.
A timeout taken here on the field. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee on what's coming up on the Visa halftime.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll get you caught up on the day as Brian Hoyer and the Browns go for their 3rd straight win. Andrew Luck and the Colts go for their 5th in a row. Brandon Marshall and the Bears, well, they look for their first home win of the season. It's all coming up at the half.
Well, the Falcons, their offense not going in the right direction. Now 2nd and 18, Devontae Freeman in there. Matt Ryan dumps it off to Freeman. And Freeman able to get essentially back to the original line of scrimmage, forced out of bounds by Darian Stewart. 3rd down and 11 coming up. At this point, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking just make sure you get yourself into field goal range. Got to get some points.
We talked about it, 0-6, and all those ones that are 10 plus have all led to punts.
Jaquiz Rodgers in at tailback. Julio Jones in motion.
Look at this shown blitz right here by Baltimore.
Ryan, back foot, tipped, incomplete. That was in the hands of Jimmy Smith, who had an interception last week.
This is a lot to have happen to James Stone. We saw Peter Cons, their starting center, come out. How about this? 3rd and long, you look up and look at, you see both Smith and Mosley in there lined up like they're going to blitz. They come, they put that pressure on Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, like we said earlier, forces it out to make sure he doesn't take that sack. He's fortunate that that one didn't get picked off by Jimmy Smith, and I know in that defensive back room, he's going to get fined and have to do some push-ups for dropping that one.
A 57-yard field goal attempt here by Matt Bryant. And it's off the crossbar.
Football is definitely a game of inches if you look at that one.
Jacoby Jones breathing a sigh of relief. I mean, he's maybe a foot from clearing.
Yeah. Matt Bryant gets all of his leg into this one as much as he could, but
how about that thud? Flacco with 37 seconds throws, completes to Owen Daniels. Good enough for a first down, move the chains, hurry up offense, a chance for Baltimore to get some points. They still have a timeout remaining. Flacco, Torrey Smith caught inside the 20. 5 seconds, and they're going to call a timeout and just try to get the field goal kicker Justin Tucker on to put 3 more points on the board.
Torrey Smith, we talked about the matchup going up against Alford here, one-on-one on the outside. He's going to run this inside slant, gets him pressed back on his heels, opens it up, clear catch, continues to move the chains, and look at here. They get one chance here, they're going to kick the field goal, and they get the ball second half.
A missed field goal on a 57-yard attempt by Matt Bryant gave Baltimore great field position. After 2 pass plays, you've got Justin Tucker on for a 38-yard field goal attempt to try to make it 17-0 to end this first half. Tucker's kick is good. What a turn of events once again. The muck punt by Jacoby Jones. A missed field goal, now a made field goal. The Ravens this year 4-0 when leading at the half. They lead 17-0 right now. And the offense for the Falcons, they did not have a play of more than 10 yards. They did not convert a 3rd down, and this play could have been huge for them.
The missed field goal, the muff punt. Those are opportunities for you right there to get yourself back in the game before the half. So those miscues, those missed opportunities in the second half, if they get these again, if you don't take advantage of them, this game's going to get out of hand.
Well, 17-0 right now for an offense that has been struggling. You hope it's not out of hand already for the Falcons because, again, we talked about their psyche coming into this game, knowing what they've been doing. This is a team that they needed to do something strong and do something well here because they've got the next 3 games away from Atlanta. They've been struggling on the road, and now you're let down 17-0 at the half. What are you doing in the locker room right now? Who's stepping up and being that leader?
I think Matt Ryan needs to be the leader of that team because in this second half, they're averaging 3rd and 13 plus. When you're playing up against the Baltimore Ravens on the road away, you've got to do a good job on 1st and 2nd down to make that manageable.
17-0 at the half here in Baltimore. Let's get you back to the studio to Kurt and the guys. Start of the third quarter here in Baltimore. The Ravens lead the Falcons 17-0. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. It's Owen Daniels, the man that David Deal said would have a big game. So far, 6 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown for these Baltimore Ravens. Justin Kutcher alongside David Deal. And David, so Owen Daniels is offense for Baltimore. How about the defense and what they've done against this Falcons offense?
They've done a great job. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons are 0-7 on third down conversions. What they've done is they've gotten them into 3rd and 10 plus, which has resulted in punts every single time. And the one red zone attempt that the Falcons had down here, what happened? Sack, strip, force, fumble, and they didn't come away with it. So in order for this Atlanta Falcons offense to thrive and do anything in the second half, they've got to run the football successfully. They cannot get away from that because that's what's going to give them the third and manageable situation.
Let's take a look at the first half stats, and it's not really pretty for Atlanta. Just 61 total yards in that first half. You see their yards per play, not what you're looking for. First downs, 15-4. And Joe Flacco, he has been targeting his tight ends, 7 of 10 to them. Let's go down and check in with Laura Oakland, what she found out at the half.
All right, so I just walked out with Mike Smith, who was telling his guys, keep your head in it, stay with the play that's in front of you. He said, we're going to get a chance right now. They're going to come out, the Ravens offense, and they're going to run the ball. We're going to see if we're able to stop it. The stat that he wanted to talk about while shaking his head was, we have not converted a third down. I said, what is the key to be able to come out and do that? He said it's protecting our quarterback. We've got to keep Matt Ryan standing. Justin?
Yeah, he does. And David, as Laura's giving us that report, you're nodding your head saying, yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about.
I mean, that is what we're talking about. And, you know, successfully running the football is going to take pressure off of this offensive line and their center, James Stone.
Yep.
They've already had issues going into this season with the injuries, adjusting, moving guys around. If you don't run the football here in the second half, it's going to be a long day for this Atlanta Falcons offensive line.
Jacoby Jones returning it from about 2 yards deep with a running start. And Jones get back up to the 19-yard line. That's where Baltimore will start. Let's go back down to Laura.
Just a quick update on what I talked about with John Harbaugh, who's usually tough. I'm going to say that for halftime interviews. This is the first time I've gotten a couple smiles out of him. But he really wanted to talk about his defense. He said that first half defensive performance, it was dominating. He said we've done an incredible job against the run. Great job staying on top of the receivers. I said, what do you have to keep doing to keep them out of the rhythm? He said, nothing but stop the run, stop the screen, stop downhill runs. Check, check, check so far, guys.
It's been all good for Baltimore so far. Justin Forsett starts in the backfield here in the third quarter. Flacco back to pass. He throws this one up, looking for Owen Daniels. Incomplete. Joe Flacco, 10 for 15, a touchdown interception. This is the interesting thing. He has not been sacked in any of the 4 wins this year. He did get sacked in that first half, but Baltimore's leading 17-0. They've been dominant defensively.
And that's what Joe Flacco's done a nice job of. He's been reading through his progressions, hasn't really been forcing anything, and he's been getting the grit of the ball quick out of his hands.
Hand off to Forsett. Forsett with a nice cut. Up to the 23, picks up 4. Paul Warlow with his 3rd tackle of the game. So 3rd down and 6 coming up now for Baltimore. And again, we've talked about these 3rd down situations for Atlanta. This is the first possession of the second half. You've got to make the stop.
You've got to make the stop here. If you want to build momentum, you want some field possession here, or field position here in this second half, start right now. Do not wait.
Forsett splits out, empty backfield. They get it to Steve Smith. Smith, look at Steve Smith go! Steve Smith all the way inside the 30.
That's a 35-year-old still outrunning people in the NFL. He still has legs. They're going to see him out here at the slot or outside the wide receiver position. That actually is just a little quick go screen that he turns into a big 49-yard gain. That's one of the dinks and dunks that you think, hey, we'll extend it. But when you give that ball to Steve Smith, that's what he's able to do with it.
49 yards Steve Smith went. You think back to that game against Carolina. As Flacco goes back to Steve Smith with those hands, makes the catch, dragged down by Desmond Trufant. Already, we're in week 7 of the NFL season, and Steve Smith has 3 catches of 50 or more yards for touchdowns.
I'd say he's in pretty good company, wouldn't you?
Yeah, not too shabby. But think about what he said after that game. He goes, that film was a coaching session. I'm 35 years old, and I ran around them boys like they were schoolyard children. I loved it. Forsett. And Forsett is going to come up shy of the first down.
I think the biggest thing about Steve Smith, if you're a young player out there, a young football player that anybody has ever told you that you're too small to play, he's one of the most fearless players in the NFL, and he's a wide receiver that regardless who's up against him, he says, challenge me, I want the football.
You think about his career was in Carolina. He made his mark, and I think he went underappreciated because of where he was playing, the quarterbacks he had throwing to him, and now playing with Flacco, putting up big numbers at the age of 35. Bernard Pierce takes the handoff. Pierce gets wrapped up in the backfield by Rashid Hageman. That's a big play by Hageman, and that's going to force a field goal attempt.
See, he does a great job of fighting it through here, 77. But look at the point of attack, this Atlanta Falcons defense able to sit down. You got Jackson and the rest of the guys in there, force everything back to where all the flow of that defense is coming from. It's a very nice 3rd-and-1 stop.
Justin Tucker made one from 38 to close out the first half. Now he has one from 38 here. And Tucker is 2 for 2. Steve Smith on 3rd and 6 took it 49 yards. It's 20-0 Baltimore.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By your next truck, Ford F-150. By Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. And by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Says Constellation, the last sail-only warship designed and built by the U.S. Navy here in Baltimore. The Ravens, when scoring 20 more points this year, well, they're undefeated. So the Falcons have a tall task ahead of them. Justin Tucker kicking off to Devin Hester. No chance for Hester to return this one. The Ravens defense will go against this Falcons offense. Pernell McPhee, a big game already, a sack, forced fumble, and a second sack. 20-0 Baltimore.
Keep beating.
It has been all Ravens so far here in this one, 20-0. Matt Ryan and his Falcons offense needs to get something going. Steven Jackson in the backfield on first down. Ryan to the pass. Throws over the middle, complete to Roddy White for the first down. Well, right before the break on the kickoff, Justin Tucker.
Hey, kickers are football players too. They got to get their conditioning and their running during the game. Look at him run all the way down. I love at the end. You talk about a marathon. Where's the photo finish? Bing! Right there.
He's getting his exercise in for ping pong throughout the year, because you need to be a well-conditioned athlete to be as good of a ping pong player as he is. A 23-yard play on that last one. The toss to Steven Jackson. Look at him lower that shoulder. That's the Steven Jackson that everybody has known. A 4-yard run by Jackson, but this team has been victimized by the penalties here in this game.
Self-inflicted wounds. Those are the things that you can control yourself as a football player, and the things that you know on the road that you cannot have. That's a wash right there. You have no production right now on the offensive side of the ball because of the penalties.
2nd down and 6. Do they stay with the run? Play action. Ryan forced down in the pocket, throws back to Steven Jackson, who makes the catch at midfield. Let's check back in with Joe Klatt in L.A.
All right, Kutch, let's go to Detroit, where Drew Brees and the Saints have lost their last 6 road games, but they're playing well today. in a dome. That's Kenny Stills, 46-yard touchdown. Saints up 17-3. Justin, David, and Laura.
Saints are leading there. The Ravens are leading here 20-0. It's 3rd and 3. The Falcons looking for their first third down conversion of the game. Jackson's in the backfield. Ryan throws for Roddy White, who makes the catch. And there is that third down conversion.
Look at Roddy White here as the inside guy. It's going to go out like they're going to run that little flare screen that they ran earlier for the first down. Releases out on the route, and they were able to pick it up and hit it on the shot. Getting that first down right there. Nice play design right there by Dirk Cutter. They saw that the screen was coming up. They all flew to it, but he was able to fake that and get that first down.
Handoff, Jackson. Steven Jackson keeps those legs moving. And Jackson picks up 4 yards again on first down, setting up 2nd down and 6.
And this is what we've talked about this entire game. If you get these 4 yards on first down, you're already putting yourself in a better position on third down to start. But doing it consistently, that's what they need to do today.
What is it like as the offensive lineman? How badly do you want to block for a runner versus passing?
Well, that's the only way that you can be aggressive in pass pro, is being able to run the football, where you can jump set, where you can be aggressive with your hands.
2nd and 6, Anton Smith. Smith gets wrapped up by Will Hill. Well, after an incredible first couple of rounds this postseason, the World Series is here. It all begins Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The Giants looking for their 3rd World Series title in the last 5 years. The Royals in the Fall Classic for the first time since 1985, when George Brett was playing third base. 3rd and 7. Can they make it back-to-back third down conversions? Jaquiz Rogers in at running back. Ryan rolling out to his right, throws, and that, is it picked off? Was he inbounds?
Let's see.
They're going to say he was juggling. Incomplete. Dominique Franks.
Ball in the air, left hand on it. See if he... Let's watch those feet.
It looks like that foot steps out of bounds. So 4th down coming up, trailing 20-0. 4th and 7, and Atlanta is going to go for it. They really have to. No other choice.
This Raven defense is first in the NFL, and they're giving up 35% on 4th down.
Ryan pressured. Ryan sacked. Elvis Dumerville with his 2nd sack of the game. A turnover on downs. Baltimore with the ball when we come back.
This game is sponsored by Verizon. More live games than ever before with NFL Mobile.
After a turnover on downs, the sack by Elvis Dumerville, his 2nd of the game. The Ravens take over at their own 44-yard line. On first down, Flacco drops it off to his fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. And Juszczyk picks up 4. Well, new this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. I wonder if J.J. Watt knows anything about that.
I love that commercial. I know that you've got better dance moves than that, Justin.
Duh. 2nd down and 6. Turned down for what? I thought you saw it already today. And Forsett. A first down for Justin Forsett. And the story of this game really has been the defense of this Ravens team.
They've been able to be aggressive, get hits on the quarterback. They've got 4 sacks, creating turnovers. They just have not let this Atlanta offense get comfortable, not let them be balanced, and most importantly, got them in 3rd and long situations, and they've taken advantage of every single one of them. Atlanta is 1 for 9 right now on 3rd down.
1st and 10, Steve Smith in motion. Forsett with a big hole. Diving forward, very close to that first down marker. And now Smith is getting into it with Desmond Trufant.
Look at Steve Smith here at the top of the screen. You talk about wide receivers getting in the run. Look at the physicalness. We all know Steve Smith is not going to be a player who's going to back down. Just got to be careful, make sure he doesn't get any penalties. You don't want to hurt this team right now with the way that you're rolling.
A first down on the run by Forsett. Aiken in motion. Again, it's Forsett, this time dragged out. No gain, Joplo Bartu on the tackle. Second down and 10 coming up. But how about this Ravens team into Atlanta territory again?
Scored on the last 3 drives.
Steve Smith had that big play the last drive, 49 yards on 3rd and 6. Flacco throws over the middle to Kamar Aiken. And Aiken moves the chains again. 18-yard completion. It's like pick your poison here for Baltimore.
You see Kamar Aiken here, number 11. Release, get that outside. Gets through Troy Bierman, trying to bump him off to reroute him. Had no effectiveness whatsoever on it. Gets to the chains, 6 down. Flacco sees it, throws him the ball. I mean, this is pitch and catch right here. You always talk about take the practice to the playing field, to the game. They're doing it right now.
Another red zone opportunity. Hand off to Bernard Pierce. Pierce up to the 16, gets a yard. So far, the Ravens today, they're 3 for 3 in the red zone. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Justin Forsett comes back in at running back. But you wonder, what is the addition of Steve Smith meant to this team? Well, Torrey Smith says, I haven't faced any double teams this year. Then you get a guy like Owen Daniels having a big game at tight end. Opens it up for Kamar Aiken for that 18-yard play. Flacco on the slant to Torrey Smith, who couldn't hang on.
Torrey Smith is going to watch film on this one and know that he had a touchdown. You're going to see him snap off, break it in on south side. Owen Daniels runs out route to take all that attention from the linebackers outside. He catches that ball. It's one-on-one on whether he's going to make a touchdown or not. And I'll tell you this, watching the way that Torrey Smith practices, the way that he's become a professional, you know he's going to be disappointed because he catches that ball 9 times out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Forsett splits out, empty backfield here on 3rd and 9. Flacco lofts one up to the end zone. Picked off by Alford again. Alford down the sideline. And that's the 2nd interception of the day. And there are some extracurriculars going down around the 5-yard line. As some guys were getting into it. Kamal Ishmael and Steve Smith. Again, it's Steve Smith. The interception by Alford is 2nd of the game. Let's get the ruling on the flag here by the official, Carl Cheffers.
After the interception, personal foul, number 89 of the passing team, for unnecessary action upon his opponent. 15 yards was added to the end of the play. First down.
There's a penalty right here. You see Steve Smith attacking, the fighting.
Number
pulls
73
and rips off his helmet.
Is eligible. 73 is eligible.
And then when we talked earlier, and the 2 plays earlier, he was with Trufant. Look at him getting mixed up there. Physical fight there between wide receiver and defensive backs, but you can't have those penalties.
Ryan coming to his tight end, Levine Toilolo, who makes the catch and gets tackled right away by Darian Stewart. Levine Toilolo last week made 3 catches, also had 3 drops. Robert Alford with 2 interceptions today. He's been big. He's a guy who's oftentimes picked on in the secondary for Atlanta. You know, we praise Joe Flacco a lot, but that was one of those decisions where you kind of have to question. He just threw that one up there.
Alford did a nice job of reading Flacco's eyes, keying in on it, and being able to get a jump after Warlow took his assignment on that protection. Being able to make that interception.
2nd and 7. Ryan had to get rid of it quickly. Roddy White didn't have his head turned around. Again, the pressure coming against Matt Ryan.
They said early on that they were not going to let Matt Ryan get comfortable. And once again, he takes another big hit that last play.
Just gets shoved down by Terrell Suggs. 3rd and 7. Ryan completes the pass to Devin Hester. And Hester has the first down into Baltimore territory at the 43 of the Ravens.
It's a nice job by the Atlanta Falcons offensive line, but we're going to see Devin Hester here. It's going to release off of that jump off of the outside, breaks it outside, and this is when he gets into open space. That's where we're going to see where he can get the yard after carry or yard after catch and hopefully break one, because they need to do something explosive on the offensive side of the ball.
Quiz Rogers on the toss, gets up to the 40. Picks up a couple yards. Under 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Second down and 8 here for the Falcons. Steve Smith and Torrey Smith talking on the sidelines. Devontae Freeman now in. Ryan to Roddy White, just sitting down at the 35. It stood up by Terrence Brooks and Dominique Franks, a 5-yard completion. 3rd and 3, again, 3rd down. Gotta convert. And as we saw before, it's 2-down territory yet again.
Yes, it is. It is 2 down. But just think about this. Every time that they've been in the 3rd and shorts, what have they done? They've run the football and then they've passed. But in order for this balance to move forward here going.
It's Freeman on the carry. Freeman gets hit by C.J. Mosley. And it looks like he's going to be shy of that 1st down marker. It's really close. But 4th down is coming up. Got to go for it again.
Talked about it earlier. Here comes Schrader, the jumbo tight end. They think bringing him in is going to provide more protection for Matt Ryan on this key 4th down here.
Freeman's the tailback. DeMarco the fullback. Play action. Ryan throws to Freeman, and Freeman gets wrapped up. Great tackle by Darius Webb. And it looks like he's short again. The end of the 3rd quarter, 20-0. Baltimore leading Atlanta. Start of the 4th quarter here in Baltimore, 20-0. Ravens lead the Falcons. Justin Kutcher alongside David Deal. Yet he's the offensive lineman. He doesn't have to wear a jacket. I'm the one who's always cold. But again, it's the defense for Baltimore stepping up. They come up with yet another stop on 4th down.
Right now, the Atlanta Falcons are 2 for 11 on 3rd down. You can't successfully run your offense, stay in cohesiveness, keep with rhythm of your offense when you can't convert on 3rd down. Not to mention, look at how many of them are 3rd and long plus. To put your offensive line in this position on the road in Baltimore when you have a new center in that's not successful football, and that's not how you come away with wins.
The Ravens take over after yet another 4th down stop. On 1st down, it's Forsett. And Forsett picks up 2. By the way, I did find it comical that as soon as the game started, you took your jacket off. I put my other jacket on. You're saying this is great weather. The guys in the trenches love it. So what does that make me as the kicker? I want to have, like, you know, extra layers on?
I told you, the sweat factor right now is at a minimal, and that's huge for the offensive line and D-line.
2nd down and 8. Fourth set again. Good job keeping those legs moving. Up to the 40, gets 5. 3rd down coming up. Matt Ryan, you wonder what's going through his head right now. His career got off to such a great start. Last year obviously struggles. A lot of injuries. This year, there haven't been those injuries, although an injury today to the starting center, Peter Kahns, so that could play a factor. But you wonder what has gone wrong with his team here in Atlanta. On 3rd and 3, Flacco completes to Campanaro for the 1st down. Michael Campanaro, the rookie out of Wake Forest, had a touchdown last week in his 1st game.
You see Campanaro right here with Torrey Smith. He's going to motion inside. They're going to look like they're going to bump, run. That confusion like they're going to pick. Just runs that little out route, is able to get the 1st down, get that yard after catch. This is exactly what the Baltimore Ravens want to do. They're going to continue to run the ball. They can control the time of possession in the line of scrimmage. And they're going to spread that ball around to each and every one of these players.
Steve Smith in motion. Bernard Pierce takes the handoff. And Pierce back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Halloween is coming early. Halloween, by the way, one of my favorite holidays. It's coming early to Fox on Monday. We've got new episodes of Gotham and Sleepy Hollow. It begins tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central, only on Fox. Tell me, your best Halloween costume ever. Go.
I went to the Meadowlands and I got a jockey outfit. So that was definitely my best costume at Halloween.
Very nice. Although I believe you'd be the tallest jockey in the history of horse racing.
Exactly the point of why it was hilarious.
2nd down and 10. Handoff once again to Pierce, and Pierce with a good run has a 1st down. Time for a game break. Let's go back to LA and check in with Joel Klatt.
All right, Justin, we go to St. Louis. Russell Wilson trying to claw back in this one, and he takes it himself. 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. It's 21-13. The defending champs on their way back in this one. Get back to Baltimore. Justin, David, and Laura.
All right, thanks, Joel. So the Seahawks trying to make a game there. Here, Baltimore leading Atlanta 20-0. It has been all Ravens, really. Again, a handoff to Pierce. Troy Bierman there with a stop. A pickup of just 1. The real question is, what is your daughter Addison going to be for Halloween this year? Has she picked out her costume?
You know, she sure has. You know, the big thing now with all these young crazy cats these days is Monster High. Her and all of her friends are going to be Monster High girls. So it's kind of like a vampire type zombie thing, which has been a bit different for me since I've been through all the princesses and the animals.
Transition, I understand. Lorenzo Taliaferro in at tailback now. He takes the toss. Pressure, and he's going to get taken down for a loss. Jonathan Massaquoi in the backfield, a loss of 6. Talk about a bright spot the last couple of weeks. This guy right here, Jonathan Massaquoi. 3rd year out of Troy. He's really come on for the Falcons.
He has 2 sacks this season. Last week we saw him make an impact. You know, have a sack against Jay Cutler. But across the board, that's one thing that this defense has lacked. Coming into this game, the Atlanta defense has only had 7 sacks.
3rd and 15. Flacco throws, and that one is nearly picked off. Desmond Trufant jumped the route and almost had it.
Desmond Trufant does a very nice job here. He gets his eyes right in the back. He sees it, breaks on it. That's another one that he's going to want to come up with that interception. You always hear the joke between wide receivers and defensive backs. Defensive backs are just like wide receivers, except for they don't have good hands.
Sam Cook will punt this one away, trying to pin the Falcons deep in their own zone. Devin Hester back to receive it. And they're going to take the delay game. Will they? There's the flag.
Delay
and it will be delay game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Give Sam Cook a little bit more room to try to pin this one back. And if he can do this like he can play cornhole, which, by the way, David, I think you and I should try to take him on because we're quite the cornhole team.
Fox, 6-time world champs. I'm just throwing that out there. Justin Kutcher and I.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're wondering what we're talking about, one of the things that the Baltimore Ravens do as a team for team building, they play ping pong once against another. They have cornhole where they play beanbags in the locker room. And they said it's really helped the cohesiveness and the team building because guys pick their teams at their sides.
Atlanta.
The Falcons are taking a timeout here. We'll be back after this.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
It's still 20-0. Baltimore leading Atlanta. The Ravens to punt with Hester back at his own 10. And there's movement all over the line.
False start, number 54, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So this was prior to the timeout. Mike Smith was irate on the Falcons sideline. A team that's been struggling. They've lost 3 in a row in the midst of 4 games on the road. Cook. This goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark. It's going to be right around the 10-yard line. It's 20-0. Baltimore on top of Atlanta here in the 4th. It's been almost 10 years since the Falcons were shut out. December 5th of 2004 at Tampa Bay. The Falcons deep in their own territory, starting at their own 10. Anton Smith in the backfield. On 1st down, Ryan to Julio Jones, and that is completed as Julio Jones stretches forward to the 34. They've got to go with a hurry-up offense now. And Julio Jones comes up hobbling a bit. A 24-yard gain. That's the biggest of the game for the Falcons.
Brought 73 Ryan Schrader back into the game to help out and pick up some protections and to help in the running game.
Ryan over the middle. That's incomplete, off the hands of Roddy White, who had slipped, and then nearly picking it off was Matt Elam.
You see it come through. Watch Roddy White. Popped up. And that was the problem last week, the drops. The drop balls that the Atlanta Falcons had. That right there would have been a 1st down, and with this up-tempo that you've been going with, would have allowed you to have more plays and more design. But sure enough, here we are back in the 2nd and 10.
Ryan forced out of the pocket, throws on the run over the middle. Levine Toilolo able to hang on. Another 1st down. Terrence Brooks with the tackle. Toilolo had those 3 drops last week. Actually spoke with Tony Gonzalez during the week, trying to, get his mind right.
There was a nice pocket presence by Matt Ryan there, moving around, being able to still keep his eyes downfield and deliver that to Toilolo.
Ryan, that could have been pass interference against Jimmy Smith. Freddie Martino, the intended receiver, but Smith, you saw him kind of push off early to try to get to the ball.
You see the entire Atlanta Falcons sidelines yelling, and with all the wide receivers, that one should have been called, jumping that route. He did. You saw the physicalness, the rerouting before the ball was there. So with all the penalties that have been called this year in the NFL and the emphasis that has been put on that, it's a surprising no call.
Not a good couple of weeks for the offense for Atlanta. Ryan again goes to Roddy White. And again, they pick up the first down up to the 34, 15-yard completion. Maybe they got to go hurry up all the time.
I mean, I think that you would. I mean, at this point, you're down 20 points. There's 8 minutes left. You've got to get out as many plays as you can, as fast as you can.
Pressure coming. Ryan able to get rid of it as he gets taken down by Pernell McPhee. McPhee has 2 sacks on the day. Elvis Dumervil has 2 sacks for Baltimore on the day. Ryan has been under pressure all day long. Second and 10. Ryan towards the end zone for Jones. Incomplete. Dominique Franks there on the coverage.
Take your shot. Julio Jones here at the top of the screen. He's going to run a fly. He's just going to run right through it. Ball's thrown to his outside shoulder. Trying to reroute.
Atlanta 2 for 11 on third downs today. Jacquizz Rodgers in the backfield. Third and 10. Pressure coming against Ryan. Able to escape. Back across the middle. Complete to Roddy White for the first down. Great play by Matt Ryan.
We just said a couple plays earlier about the pocket presence of Matt Ryan. Dumervil is once again against Toilolo. Rips right off of that edge. He's able to still break contain Matt Ryan. Keep his eyes downfield and still deliver it.
Ryan dumps it off short to Hester, who gets ripped down. There's the flag. Going to be a face mask against Jimmy Smith.
And I know that you've had problems in protection, but Dumervil against Toilolo, that is not the matchup that you want to have.
Face mask. Number 22 defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Jimmy Smith coming in here. I mean, this is pretty clear. You see it right there.
First and goal from the 4. Ryan to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Roddy White.
See Roddy White at the top of the screen. He's going to play to the back. Just play that back fade. Comes back, is able to keep his eyes on it. He's able to score that touchdown against the coverage against Franks.
With that touchdown, Roddy White is the new franchise leader in career touchdowns with 58. Had been tied with Terrence Mathis at 57. Matt Bryant on for the extra point. The extra point is good. It's now a 20-7 ball game. 11 straight games that Matt Ryan has thrown a touchdown pass. A new record for Roddy White. He leads the Falcons with 58 career touchdowns.
This game is sponsored by Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online.
Back here in Baltimore, Roddy White His touchdown catch, number 58. Let's go back to his first one. November 13th, 2005. Michael Vick was the quarterback. The uniforms look different. That was number 1, and this is number 58, the franchise leader.
Well, that connection right there, White to Ryan, they're 547 receptions and catches between the two of them. Is the most active among 2 wide receiver and quarterback combo.
All right, what do you do right now as we have a timeout taken by Baltimore? They're trying to figure out onside kick or not. 20-7, Ravens on top. Matt Bosher on. You see how Baltimore's set up. Are they expecting an onside kick? You got part of the hands team out there. What do you do here?
See, kick it deep.
Jacoby Jones is back deep at his own 10. They do kick it deep, and this will not be returned. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, Chris and Thompson will have an exclusive one-on-one with a star from today's biggest game of the week. Plus, the guys will preview Tuesday's World Series Game 1 and, of course, highlights from a full day in the NFL. Fox Sports Live coming up tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Will she be interviewing Eli?
It's going to be a good game tonight, NFC East battle, but I just said this, the New York Giants have played well in Jerry World.
The Atlanta Falcons, you think about what they did just not even 2 years ago, playing in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers, a chance to win it. Instead, they lose by 4, and since then, last year, a debacle of a year, 6-16 since that NFC Championship game. And again, last year, there were injuries. Your star receiver, Julio Jones, lost after week 5. This year, there have been some injuries, but not the same magnitude that you had last year. The handoff to Forsett. And Forsett, good run, and come up just about a yard shy or so. But my question to you is, and I think a lot of people are wondering, you look at the team, you look at the talent, especially offensively. Why are the Falcons in the situation they're in right now?
That's a great question to go along with all of this. It's opportunities are never lost. Someone will take the one you miss. And when it comes to this, and you realize how tough it is to get to the NFC Championship game, but then to repeat it, think about the Atlanta Falcons history. You know, it's been a complete change since Mike Smith and Matt Ryan have gotten there. The wins that they've had, the back-to-back, you know, division wins.
Flacco pumps, Flacco dives for the first down and has it. 1st and 10 coming up, time for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, the Seattle Seahawks are trying to come back. Once down 21-3. His touchdown pass to Cooper Helford. Missed 2-point conversion, made it 21-19. But literally, the Rams just scored, and hitting the extra point, they have extended the lead. Justin and David.
See, that's up to the second game breaks right there by Kurt. Literally just scoring. It's 20-7 here. Baltimore trying to run this one out. A good scramble for the first down there by Flacco. And up once again to Forsett. But David, let's go back and talk about the Falcons. So you're saying for reasons of why they have kind of fallen off.
You know, and we talked about them as a team. But when you look at where their money is tied up in them as a team, I mean, yeah, it's great that you put up these explosive numbers and fantasy people around the league are going crazy. But the teams that have proven that they can get back to those games consistently are the teams that rally around their defense.
Yep.
That bring in free agents, that bring in guys that make you as an offensive line and as an offense say, hey, we've got to find this one player each and every play. Right now with the injuries that they've had on that side of the ball, they don't have that.
Talaferro with the carry, gets 3. And now a timeout is taken here by Atlanta. Stopping the clock with 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go. 20-7, Baltimore leads Atlanta. Justin Kutcher alongside David Deal, Laura Oakman here in Baltimore. And Week 7 continues later today on Fox, and for some of you on CBS. Then tonight, it's Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. The Atlanta Falcons, you talk about this, David, all the big-time players on offense, yards per play, they're first. But defensively, they say defense is what wins championship. Look at all those numbers. Last, 29th, 31st, 29th. You don't win with those numbers.
It almost becomes a wash. You gain all those yards offensively, but if your defense is giving them up, it's not putting you where you need to be.
And off once again to Forsett. And again, the timeout is taken by Atlanta. 4th down coming up. 4:05 to go. The final timeout for the Falcons as they trail by 13. Sam Cook on to punt here for Baltimore. Devin Hester back at his own 20, hoping for a chance for a return. Everyone knows how dangerous Devin Hester can be. Hester makes a cut. Devin Hester. Flags are thrown from everywhere on the field. This one's coming back. Player down on the field for Baltimore. That's Morgan Cox, the long snapper. Morgan Cox grabbing that leg. You can see him in
That's not
pain.
good when you see a guy.
Turn to return, illegal block in the back. Number 42 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal. Timeout.
Morgan Cox is down. We'll be back after this. We talked earlier how Mike Smith changed things up this week for Atlanta. Hey, Laura, John Harbaugh changed things up as well for Baltimore, didn't he?
He did. John Harbaugh said after a win, Justin, a coach's antenna goes up, which is why the team got T-shirts this week after their buck blowout last week. Harbaugh told his team, if I'm upset, it's because one of 4 fights is attacking us. Us versus them. Division from within. Complacency or fatigue. I'm going to tell you what he said after this.
Steven Jackson is in at tailback for the Falcons. No timeouts remaining. Trailing by 13, 3:52 to go. And movement on the line.
Number 68 offense. 5-yard penalty.
All right, Laura, I'm dying up here. You tease me. That's not fair. What else did John Harbaugh say?
So, Justin, what he said was the one fight attacking them, he was worried would attack them this week complacently. He was worried it would affect them. He said, I watched how they practiced, how they were in meetings. I watched everything. I asked him at halftime, what do you think about the complacency factor? He said, not a factor at all.
Not a factor at all, but what is a factor is Joel Klatt in L.A. Joel, what do you have for us?
All right, Justin, let's go back to St. Louis. Austin Davis takes the Rams right down the field, and Lance Kendricks from 4 yards out, his 3rd of the season. And St. Louis up 28-19 over to the defending champs. Justin, David, and Laura.
A lot of people had that one, right? St. Louis over Seattle. 2nd down and 15 in the shotgun. Matt Ryan from his own end zone. Ryan pressured, gets rid of it, and avoids the sack. Elvis Dumerville once again applying some pressure.
Look at Elvis Dumerville fight through. They even watch Devin Hester trying to help out and chip to get him some help out there to Gabe Carimi. Dumerville and this defensive line have been able to just completely attack Matt Ryan, because when you put him in these situations where it's 3rd and long, they don't care about anything else but getting after the quarterback.
Dumerville, 7 sacks on the season, 2 today. 3rd and 15. Pressure coming again. He goes down for the safety. This time it's Terrell Suggs.
Perfect call. You're going to see a tackle and twist here on the left side. Terrell Suggs is able to free up because Haloti Ngata splits the two. They can't punch and pass it. And watch the arm by Terrell Suggs. Look at that. Getting the fans involved. A little lucky souvenir. That's a great throw. On the run. Cross body. Look at the guy.
Terrell Suggs, known as Sizzle. Elvis Doomerville, known as Doom. It has been Doom and Sizzle today for this defense.
It most certainly has. And they've done it consistently the entire football game.
And what about McPhee? Like, do we call him McRib?
Yeah, because, you know, you can't keep him out of this. 2 sacks, a forced fumble. I mean, this Ravens defense was amped up for this game.
(22-7). Bosher will punt after the safety. Jacoby Jones in the 24. Jacoby Jones outside with some blockers. Jacoby Jones across midfield, pushed out at the 40. Matt Bosher, the punter, pushed him out of bounds. Well, next week, it's a special edition of Fox NFL Sunday as the Lions take on these Falcons live from London. Wake up to Wembley at a special time of 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 3 a.m. Hawaii, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Russ, Audrey, Big Ben, there's Parliament.
I want to go back to a throw by Terrell Suggs. On the run. How many rows deep is this?
I don't know.
That's a good 25.
Well, that's
26.
a great catch. Look at big man out there. That's a great grab in the aisle there.
Talafero takes the handoff. Remember, no timeouts remaining here for the Falcons. It's been a while since the Ravens last had a safety. We go back to 2008, the rookie year of Joe Flacco. 104 games. But Terrell Suggs, the all-time career leader in sacks for the Ravens, had 96 coming in, now has 97 adding to that total.
Just think about the total between Doomerville and Suggs together. Combined coming into this game, 506 QB hurries and knockdowns, 174 combined sacks.
Talafero up the gut. The Ravens next week, a couple of big-time division games at Cincinnati, at Pittsburgh. Then they're home against Tennessee, finally a bye on the 16th and at New Orleans. And for the Falcons, we talked about this away from Atlanta. Next week, they're in Detroit. That's actually a home game in London, but they're not really in Atlanta. Then the bye at Tampa, at Carolina, and home against Cleveland. 3rd and 4. Flag is thrown.
Ball start, number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I guess when you're the all-time leader, you can wear your hat however you want. 3rd and 9 now. Steve Smith in motion. A handoff to Forsett. Forsett outside. Gets tackled, picks up a yard.
This is a 2-minute warning.
It's a 2-minute warning here in Baltimore. The defense has been impressive for the Ravens. We've talked all day about this defense for the Ravens. Back-to-back games with 5 or more sacks. Last week at Tampa Bay, this week here at home. And Matt Ryan has been pressured all day long. On 4th and 9, the Ravens will go for it. Flacco taking a shot to the end zone. Torrey Smith, touchdown! "39 yards on 4th and 9, the exclamation point.
Here it is at the top of the screen, one-on-one against Alford. He just shows his world-class speed. He's running that fly pattern. Nice ball by Joe Flacco. Gets it outside to where only Torrey Smith can catch it. Outside shoulder. And before this catch, anytime that Torrey Smith scores a touchdown at home, they were 10-0.
Second charge timeout, Baltimore.
I think they might move to 11-0.
I believe so.
It looks as if Baltimore now is going to go for 2. One more time, just making sure that Torrey Smith came down with possession.
That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
No, they review all of them, but that one is.
And they're not going to go for 2. This is going to be it's a normal extra point. Torrey Smith with his 4th touchdown catch of the season, his 3rd in the last 2 games. He had 1 in the previous 5 games. The defense, though, they've been all over Matt Ryan. And there have been injuries to this Atlanta Falcons offensive line, but give a lot of credit to the defense of Baltimore.
From start to finish, they've played a complete football game, creating turnovers, getting sacks, hits on the quarterback, stopping the run. I mean, all in all, they were allowed to play their defense. You've got to give Dean Pease and the defensive coordinator for the Ravens a lot of credit. But at the same token, you've got to give the players a lot of credit because they're going out there performing. And the Baltimore Ravens defense and this team did it at a high level all day.
By the way, our statistician, Ed Svita, brings up a great point. Morgan Cox, the long snapper, went down with the injury. That could have been a large reason why they went for it on 4th and 9. Because you don't have someone to snap that ball back, and even why maybe they were thinking about going for the 2-point conversion there because you're afraid of that long snap. I think it was Haloti Ngata who was actually the long snapper on that extra point attempt.
Got to earn your paycheck, the more you can do.
I think that's the reason why he was drafted so high.
I highly doubt that one. I think he's done a fine job at being a run-stopping defensive tackle.
Devin Hester on the return gets tackled shy of the 30. Let's go back to L.A. for a game break. Here's Joel Klatt.
All right, Justin, at the conclusion of your game, we'll be going out to Dallas. The Cowboys, winners of 5 straight, host the New York Giants, who have won 4 of their last 5 in Dallas. Something's got to give. America's Game of the Week. It's next, and it's on Fox.
Here in Baltimore, 29-7, Ravens on top of the Falcons. The fewest yards of the season for Atlanta. Ryan to Julio Jones. Suggs with the tackle. Atlanta going to hurry up. Towards the sideline, incomplete. Today's game is being produced by Mark Titleman, directed by Greg Scopatoni. The technical producer is Bob Muller. The technical director is Dane Crawford. The associate director, Yvonne Wagner. And the broadcast associate, Jordan Wolf. The studio show is produced by Bill Richards and directed by Stephanie Medina. Also like to thank our spotter, Ken Trevor, up here. Our stats crew, Ed Speed up in the booth. Eric Norton, Mike Eldridge down the truck. And of course, watching back from home, Bob Stenner. Bob, we miss you. We want you back here in Tampa next week with us. This one over the middle is incomplete, knocked away by Darian Stewart. Fourth and 2. Again, you know, David, at the top of the show, we talked about this Ravens team, I believe, is a legitimate Super Bowl contender, not because what they did last week in Tampa or even what they have done here against a depleted Atlanta team. Roddy White makes the catch, good enough for the first down. But you look at the balance of this team offensively, the weapons they have, wide receivers. You've got Steve Smith and Torrey Smith. You've got Owen Daniels at tight end. You've got running backs in Justin Forsett and Bernard Pierce. And then, of course, defensively, the whole linebacking core, the front line. This is a team that I think is really built for that long run in this season.
And you hit it on that, the depth of this football team, too. They've had injuries. They've been able to have the next man up mentality. Guys have been able to step in and play well. And you're right, Justin. This is the point of the season. Week 7, moving here forward, is when you really see the identity of football teams come out. So to say last week on the road was an anomaly, yeah, you can say that maybe 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. Right. But as an offense, as a team, the way that they dominated, they're capable of doing that week in and week out.
10 seconds to go here in this one. Ryan stepping up again, pressure like he's been pressured all day. He's going to run out of bounds with 2 seconds on the clock. The Baltimore Ravens are going to move to 5-2 on the season. Every time they start 5-2 under John Harbaugh, they go to the playoffs.
I'd say that's a statistic that is one that you like to read because it is a statement about your team, and it is a statement about year in and year out continuing to play good football. And you talked about it, about the 4 fights. They definitely didn't have that complacency 1-7 today.
Devontae Freeman runs it out. Baltimore defeats Atlanta 29-7. An impressive performance, an impressive display by the Ravens as a team. Defensively, big-time stops. Third downs were a problem all day long for Atlanta. The sacks, Joe Flacco, a couple of touchdown passes, a couple of interceptions. But the team stepped up when they needed to, and defensively they stepped up when we needed to. Now let's get to the State Farm Game Break Show in LA. Here is Kurt Menefee.